Chicago Bears sign Justin Simmons in free agency? We're going to talk about it. My name is Harrison Graham. Welcome into Bears Now by Chat Sports. Bleacher Report suggested this, that Simmons could be someone that Ryan Poles pursues. I don't know about that one. Again, we'll discuss it here in just a moment. This is why you subscribe, though. When news drops, when big rumors are floating around, we're going to discuss them. I'm going to give my opinions on them. You may not always agree, but I will give you my honest take, and we can go back and forth in the comments and all of that. You guys are the biggest part of this show, so hit that subscribe button if you want to be a part of the Chicago Bears Now community for free. Okay, Joe Tanzi, Bleacher Report, says this about the Bears and Justin Simmons. He says, Simmons would fall in line with the aggressive nature of Ryan Poles' roster building, which don't know if that's true, but we'll continue here. The Bears signed Kevin Byard to partner with Jaquan Brisker, which would make you think they are satisfied at the position. However, Byard struggled last season after he was traded to Philadelphia. Simmons would likely require a multi-year deal given his stature at the safety position. But if the Bears want to be super aggressive in the free agent market, he could be worth the move. I'm just going to say this right here, right now. There is no chance Ryan Poles will sign Justin Simmons. Like, Ryan Poles has made some aggressive moves, but he's been very calculated. Why would he sign Justin Simmons, who I agree probably wants a multi-year deal, probably will cost north of $10 million, when you already have two caliber starting safeties? I get Byard didn't play great in Philly last year, but that situation collapsed, man, on that defense. So I don't see how this happens. And by the way, has nothing to do with Simmons the player. Justin Simmons is an absolutely fantastic player. I would say probably the best free agent by a decent margin still out there in terms of on-field impact and just player at his position. Like, he is better than Kevin Byard, but you already signed Kevin Byard. Like, Kevin Byard had the worst year of his career last year, and he was still solid. Like, he was still pretty good, and we talked about this. Just come in and be better than Eddie Jackson and more reliable. He's never missed a game in his career. He only played 16 last year because of the trade that caused him to miss a game. But he's healthy. He's a much better tackler than Eddie Jackson. He's going to give you similar ball production. He's a starting caliber safety, and so is Jaquan Brisker. So what are you going to do? Sign Justin Simmons and trade Brisker? Trade Byard, who you just signed? Like, the Bears don't need a safety. They have Jonathan Owens as their number 3. Justin Simmons, or was Brisker going to be your third guy? Like, they're not doing it. Again, Simmons is better than Byard. No one's disputing that. But you already paid Kevin Byard. Give him a 2-year deal, $7.5 per year. Second year is mostly non-guaranteed, but, like, he's your guy this year. Like, and they did that because, hey, let's get Byard at $7.5 million, cap hit at like 5.8, I think. Whereas Simmons, reason he's unsigned, he wants big money. Bears just need a solid player back there, a leader. They've got that in Kevin Byard. I'll say it one last time. I'm not disputing that Justin Simmons would be a superior player. But you don't sign Peyton Manning or Tom Brady when you have Peyton Manning. Like, you already have your guy. So, like, it's just it's not going to happen. He's going to sign somewhere with a team that needs a playmaker on the back end. Could he be an upgrade? Yes, but again, you're not going to put a starting level safety on the bench, which is what would happen if you signed Justin Simmons. Now, name a player that you think the Bears should go out and sign. Whether it's a pass rusher, whether it's a center or a guard, Connor Williams of the world. Who do you want to see the Bears sign in NFL free agency? Drop his name down in the comments below. All right, Kmet hopped on Sirius XM Radio and spoke highly of his new quarterback, Caleb Williams. Here's what Kmet had to say about Caleb, saying, he's a really good kid, ultra competitive, and you can see why he's been so successful thus far in his football career and why he has those type of intangibles to succeed in the NFL. I'm really excited for him. He's been putting in a lot of work, and you can see the progress he was making throughout the OTA period. This is what excites me about Caleb and what we've seen so far. And again, he hasn't even played in a preseason game. He hasn't even done a full practice in pads. But what you want to see is incremental steps, improvement. And now that doesn't mean you're never going to have a bad day and, maybe take a slight step backwards. That's just anything in life, right? Like, you have 10 awesome days, you have a bad day. You get back up and you try again tomorrow. But by most accounts, reporters, players, coaches, like, Caleb has gotten better since being drafted up until the end of mandatory minicamp, and hopefully now, as he's been training on his own for a couple weeks before training camp. That's what you want to see. Like, again, I love Justin Fields and Mitch Trubisky and these guys, but, like, they never really seem to, like every year at training camp, you're like, all right, you want this to be the year where they're like, okay, they're getting better throughout, and it was always all over the place. Again, I don't expect Caleb to dominate. This is a good defense. There's going to be good days. There's going to be bad. But, like, big picture, when you take chunks of days, like, okay, over these 10 practices, was he better by practice 10 than practice 1? The answer needs to be yes, and it seems like so far that's been the case. Like, his worst practice that was open to the media was the first one open to the media during the first week of OTAs. By the end of minicamp, when the media was fully there, it looked a lot better. That is progress. So that makes me excited. Players like Kmet are saying so. Matt Eberflus hasn't tempered the expectations, and man, it's just got the jitters going, man. I'm ready for training camp. Like, I'm ready for it to be here. Like, it's nice, during the downtime, spend time with family. I got a vacation coming up, all that. And don't get me wrong, I'm looking forward to that. But, like, once that's over with, like, I wish the day I got back training camp would start. But it's really going to be another week or so. So it's here soon. I can't wait. And I can't wait for you guys to be on this journey with me throughout this upcoming season, because I think there's potential for some fireworks here. If you think so too, why not get a Caleb Williams jersey? Chatsports.com/Caleb. Represent number 18 at training camp, in the preseason, on game day, when you're going to school, when you're going to a jersey party, whatever. Why not get a Caleb Williams jersey? Chatsports.com/Caleb. That link is in the comments and in the description. Click and shop today. Get yourself a Caleb Williams Bears jersey. Okay, let's go to this story. We've talked about this a little before, but we got new quotes from Richard Hightower. Feels like the Rome Odunze punt returner situation has some legs to it. Like, he's at least in the mix, per Richard Hightower, the special teams coach. He says, Rome is an every down player. He's a first down player, second down player, third down player, and a fourth down player, which of course is special teams. He had 3 returns on the books at Washington, and one of those 3 returns was a house call. 67-yard touchdown, I believe. He's in contention. Just like everybody else, best man will win. Cream rises to the top. Now, how much control has Richard Hightower been given? Like, is Matt Eberflus going to allow a top 10 rookie pick to be the primary punt returner? That'll be his call. But if he gives Hightower the green light, then he could make Odunze the punt returner if he wants to. I think these are your candidates right now. DeAndre Carter, who you just signed. Dante Pettis, who came back this year after missing last year with an injury. Tyler Scott is a potential option. I'll put Velus Jones, but he's never been a reliable catcher of the football on punts, but I'm sure he's getting reps. And then Rome Odunze. Now, I think if DeAndre Carter makes this football team, which I would say it's more likely yes than no that he'll make the team, I think he's the guy. I think he's the most proven, established punt returner on this roster. Pettis can do the job. I think Scott can. I wish Velus could, because I think he's the most explosive out of all these players, but he's just doesn't track punts well. Kick returner, yes. Punts, not so much. So I think Carter is that guy if he makes the team. But if he gets squeezed out, then maybe Rome's that guy, or maybe Rome is like, I don't know, you saw the Chiefs do this with Tyreek Hill. Like he was a punt returner his rookie year, but like once he got established as a receiver, they would like throw him back there every once in a while. Like maybe if they're hunting for a big play, they put him back there. So we'll see. I think giving him reps is smart. I don't have a problem with it. As a rookie, long term, you don't want him to be the punt returner because you want to limit the hits he's taken and the exposure and all that, because you want him to be playing 85, 90% of your offensive snaps long term. But, I wouldn't rule out Rome. I think Carter's the favorite, but it's not a guarantee he'll make the team either. So lots to decipher through if you're Richard Hightower. Who will be the Bears punt returner? If you had to guess, who's going to be back there being the Devin Hester of this team? I just want someone who can be dynamic. At least Trent Taylor could catch the ball last year, but you haven't had a dynamic punt returner since Tariq Cohen. So hopefully they have someone who can do that. I think Carter is pretty dynamic. He's not crazy dynamic, but he's more dynamic, has more juice than Taylor. Rome would certainly be dynamic. Velus, if he could catch the ball, we know he's dynamic once he catches it. So we'll see who it ends up being. Let us know what you guys think. Appreciate everybody for tuning in to this episode of Chicago Bears Now. Again, when big news, rumors drop, we hit you with the video, so hit that sub button. and don't forget to turn on notifications.